play a huge part in publishing, always have done. From the written word, emphasizing images, all the way to creating graphics out of the letters themselves. Think back to the religious texts that the monks used to spend their lives illuminating, and you will immediately see what I mean. These days books are a little less labour intensive, but nonetheless fonts still play a large part. And one of the things that the internet has not wiped out is the physical book itself, which in turn provides a digital counterpart. So here we're going to look at a way to create your own fonts. Now, if you've not been here before, my name's Jane Willingale of Silver Zone Printables, and I create videos for this channel based on low content publishing and printables for Etsy or similar platforms, and tips for using the Affinity Suite to achieve that. And if that kind of thing interests you, then click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload new videos like this. And if you find this video helpful, then please do click on the like button, which will help this video get seen and help me grow this channel. I really do appreciate it. This video is a review of Marian Blake's new course Fontastic, which is all about creating your own fonts from either your own handwriting, somebody else's handwriting, public domain fonts, public domain handwriting, anything like that that you think will make a nice font set. So she uses a piece of free software and teaches you how to use this software to create your own fonts for either personal use or to sell them as a new income stream. Extremely useful to help expand any publishing or printables style business. She goes through all the steps of where to find different fonts, how to use your own handwriting as a font, how to use public domain signage fonts, and taking public domain fonts and then adding a little bit of your own unique self to make a new original font, and a great deal more that will be a useful addition to any publishing business. And I'm going to briefly run through how I've used it with the Affinity Suite, which I believe is a quicker way of doing things than with PowerPoint, but if PowerPoint is your thing, then it works adequately with that as well, and how to then use those later on for things like covers and internal graphics. I am currently in Affinity Publisher, and the book I have open here, which is a PDF version, I have downloaded from a site called archive.org, where with a little bit of filtering, and Marian shows you how, you can find a huge array of books with text and fonts that are really useful, wide selection you can use for this particular purpose. So we start off in Publisher, and the first thing I'm going to do is go down to a page which has a set of fonts that I would like to use, and I found one further down. It's a large file, so bear with me a minute while I just click down through. You click on the page and click on the page here as well until you get the handles around the outside, and then you're going to extract that page or export that page as a PNG or a JPEG. So I will do that now by going File, Export, and I will choose PNG. And the one thing to remember is to change this from all pages to current page, otherwise it will export the entire book, which you don't want. So I'll click on Export and I will save that to my folder for the font. I'll use that one because I have already saved this before, so I will just overwrite that page. And the next thing we're going to do is go across to Affinity Photo. Now I can either click through here on the persona, or I've actually got the program open, so I will just click on the icon at the bottom and I will open up that page that I just saved, which is going to be that one, I think it was. There we go. So within Photo you have lots of options for tidying up the graphic and speeding up the whole process of saving each one of these letters as an individual PNG. The first thing we're going to do is take the background off. So we will select the move tool and select the actual background image. Can't speak today. And we will choose the flood erase tool and take off the background. That takes all of that section off, and then we will take it off within the graphic itself, and you need to go through the interiors of any of the letters that still have a background in them. That looks like all of them are now done. And the next thing I'm going to do is take out the lettering at the top and bottom, and the easiest way of doing that is to choose the select tool and draw a selection around there and press delete. That's gone, and do the same this bit down here. And I'm also going to take the border off because it's just really not necessary here. So again, the easiest way is to just select the marquee tool, draw around the borders and press delete. Now we can crop the image to make it smaller. And press return. That now gives you a nice set of letters that you can use. And we're now going to use the export persona to create slices for each one of these letters. And I've just seen a small bit of background that I missed, so it's definitely worth just checking over before you go through the last bit. So again, we use the flood erase tool and click on that section. Now we'll go to the export persona, which is this icon on the far right of the 5 in the top left hand corner, and you'll see if you hover over it, it says export persona. So we click on there, and this moves you through to a different set of tools. And here we want to set slices to be able to create a single image out of each one of these letters. So it's a little bit laborious to go through 26, but it is the fastest way of doing the whole thing. So we literally just draw a box around each letter, which creates its own image. So I will just run through all of those and I'll be back. Having selected all of the letters and created a new slice for each one, the next stage is to export them, and you can do that all in one hit. You'll notice that on the O and the P they overlap slightly, which means that the O is going to have a little bit of the P and vice versa. That's an easy fix once they're exported, just to quickly open them up again in Photo and erase out the bit you don't want and then resave. So we're going to go down to export slices over here on the right hand side and select export slices and choose the fonts that, the folder that I want to put them in, and I've created a new folder for them, and just press export. And you will see, if I pull in the Windows Explorer window, that all the fonts have been created as separate files. Now they're all called slice 1, 2, 3, and there's an easy way to change that by selecting first the first one and then the last one and pressing the right hand button on your mouse and pressing rename and calling it, in this case I've called them all English, nothing afterwards, excuse my cat, and pressing return, and it will rename them all and give them a number afterwards. And it looks like I'm missing one. Some of the alphabets we've noticed do not have every single one of the letters. I will check that in a moment. Okay, so it looks like J is missing, which would probably be quite easily corrected by using the top of the T, and this has a curve down the bottom which could be adapted, and this after all is your own unique font, so it really doesn't matter. I'll go into a bit more depth in that in the bonus that I'm going to provide with this product if you buy it through my link, and I will show you how you can adapt some of these letters to make them a little bit different, or add where you're missing a letter, things like that, which just make life a little bit easier. But for the purposes of this video, this is fine. And now I'm going to quickly pull back in those two letters that I know are going to need slightly tidying up, just to show you how easy that bit is. So you click back to the photo persona and you open up the two files, which are the ones you want to alter, which are the O and the P, and it's only very little minor stuff. And in here you're just going to choose the erase brush and literally go over the bits that you don't want, and go into the other letter and do the same thing and resave, and that's all you need to do. You now have a complete set of letters to add to Calligrapher's template, which Marian shows you how to download and add all the letters in. It's as simple as that. I don't really need to go into any more detail, because if you choose to use the program, it's very easy to follow, and Marian gives you all the details that you will need. Once you have your new font loaded up, it will create a whole font set for you. You download it to your computer and install it in exactly the same way you would install any other font. Very easy to do, and I certainly plan on using a lot of these for my publishing covers and in some of my printables on Etsy, because I think this will just add to the range. If you're not into buying fonts, which I'm certainly not, and you don't have a lot of free downloaded fonts, you can create a huge number of font sets using this. I think you're a little bit restricted with the free version of Calligrapher, but it seems it's quite cheap if you buy the pro version, and that gives you a much wider range of how to do things. Marian's course is extremely comprehensive, covers everything that you need to know in her usual bite-size, no-nonsense videos, and I believe would be a worthy addition to anybody's range of how-tos for adding to their publishing business. I'm providing a bonus if you buy it through my affiliate link of several sets of fonts already done for you, ready to go on Calligrapher, as well as some of the resources that you can use to get these fonts from, already downloaded as PDFs to save you hunting them out. I hope you find that useful. I've been Jane Willingale of Silverzone Printables. See you next time.